So I step up and everybody's ready for church service. So no preaching from me today, but want to welcome all of you here, and certainly want to welcome our officer, Brian Arterburn, back home. It was good to see him come back home, and he had an awesome welcome at the airport yesterday, and so we're excited about his continued road to recovery and all of the support that he's getting. As many of you know, we had our local elections earlier this month, and so we have some new incoming council members, and so I want to congratulate both our returning incumbent in District 3, James Clendenin, and our new council members in District 1 and District 6, Brandon Johnson and Cindy Claycomb. And certainly want to acknowledge two outstanding council members that are going to be leaving us. That is a little bit sad. They've been very passionate, smart women that have served their community well. Councilmember Levanta Williams and Vice Mayor Janet Miller. And the reality is we need more women like them in government, and that's why we're talking on this particular subject here this morning, and we're going to invite some guests up. It's not a secret that there's a disparate number of men versus women in all levels of politics. According to a 2014 study, 62% of Kansas women vote, but yet less than 25% are elected to state offices. So now more than ever, we need to make steps to cultivate an informed public and encourage diverse leadership on boards and commissions where policies are formed. Research has shown that volunteering on boards and commissions, support of new board members, and diversity training increases leadership confidence and knowledge base. Truly representative boards and commissions are the foundation of our democracy. So here with us today is Wendy Doyle of the Women's Foundation to talk more about getting more women involved with local government. So Wendy, I'm going to turn this over to you and let you talk about how we're going to take up that initiative.
Thank you, Mayor Longwell, for the opportunity to be with you this morning to talk about an issue, as Mayor Longwell said, that is important to us, to women, and to the overall civic health of Kansas communities. Many of our city, county, and state boards, as Mayor Longwell identified, do not represent diverse communities they serve. As Mayor Longwell identified, only 25% of our state elected officials are women. Women's voices, we believe, must be at the policymaking table to help lead our communities, bring diverse viewpoints, and make changes that benefit us all. That's why we launched the Appointments Project 3 years ago, and why it continues to be at the heart of the Women's Foundation. The Appointments Project, what it is, it serves as a talent bank, advisor, advocate, and includes a training component for women seeking opportunities to civically lead, and works to attract diverse applicants for appointed positions on boards and commissions at the city, county, and state level. To date, our Appointments Project has proven results. In the last 2.5 years, 3 years, 82 women have been appointed to boards and commissions in Kansas and Missouri at the city, county, and state level. But here's the good news. We're just getting started. There are thousands of public leadership positions waiting to be filled by women who just need to be asked, who just need a little help navigating the process. And that's what brings us here today. This forward-looking initiative will help appoint more women, especially women of color, to boards and commissions across Kansas, empowering women, strengthening communities, and improving our public policy. We're looking forward to what women can achieve for their communities and for our state, and we're so grateful for our partners, Mayor Longwell for his leadership, the League of Kansas Municipalities, Kansas State University Extension, who will help us to deliver a civic engagement training, and the leadership and generosity of the Kansas Health Foundation. So signing up is easy. You can find out more information on the Women's Foundation's website at womens-foundation.org. And thank you again for making this possible to share about this initiative. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you very much. We appreciate Wendy very much, and now I want to bring up another person that's going to help us with this initiative to carry it statewide. So I get to leverage my year as president of League of Kansas Municipalities to carry this initiative across the state of Kansas. And so with us today is Eric Sartorius, who's the incredibly bright executive director of the League of Kansas Municipalities. And so Eric, I'm going to let you talk a little bit how we can take this initiative statewide.
Thank you, Mayor Longwell. I think he says nicer things to folks who are native Wichitans. I think that's why I got a nice introduction. But we very much appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning. This is an exciting initiative. It's an exciting time, and we think this is something that's going to help both women and other underrepresented populations in our municipalities become more active and give stronger voices and more divergent voices to the policies and governance of our cities. So cities in Kansas have long been leaders across the country with respect to women being involved in municipal government. In 1887, the city of Argonia was the first city in the nation to elect a female mayor. And that same year, Syracuse, Kansas, in southwest Kansas, was the first community in the country to elect an all-female city council. So we do have some really interesting history here in the state. That said, and while it's nice that the Kansas cities can claim some of these achievements, we also know that currently and going forward, there's a lot more that can be done. The Women's Foundation's Appointments Initiative is an excellent way to grow cities' talent pools. We'll be working with them and, as Wendy said, K-State University Extension to build on the principles and best practices they've developed for the recruitment and engagement of women. We believe that these will also work with other segments of our cities that have maybe not felt comfortable or welcome in serving their communities. Now, cities face uncertain times. Budgets are tight, economic development and vitality can be unpredictable, and we have many populations that are shrinking or aging in our cities across Kansas. But what is certain is that cities must engage their population and seek to use the talents of all residents and everyone within their community. To best tackle the opportunities and challenges in our cities, it's critical that we have these diverse voices contributing to policy discussions. So we look forward to working with City of Wichita and other cities and the Women's Foundation as we develop webinars and online tools and other strategies for growing this talent pool. And we think that will assist Wichita and our other member cities to grow the diverse civic population, to diversify the discourse. And again, very much are happy to be here tonight and will answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. That's outstanding, and so we appreciate Eric's leadership. Eric obviously resides in Topeka and came down just for this opportunity because Eric and I have a meeting tonight back in Topeka, and so you're getting some highway miles, a little windshield time. So we really appreciate Eric coming down and certainly appreciate Wendy and this whole initiative. This truly is a milestone moment for Kansas. We think it's going to be a real difference maker. And so we're trying to lead by example, and hopefully we can get more people on board. And so we thank you both for this really important initiative, and we will open it up for questions here in just a moment. I want to cover a couple of other real quick issues. I want to talk briefly about the ozone season that we just finished. And so it officially came to a close here recently, and we have good news. We kept this last ozone season under the emissions, and we have some stats for you here that talk about the peak ozone levels that we are dealing with. And the reality is, as long as we stay under what has been set for us as a maximum, it saves our community millions of dollars. And so here's just a little bit of information on how we've been able to trend down, basically, because of all of the work that's been done at the city level of keeping our ozone levels at a manageable level, and we hope that that continues. And so we are going to be starting our next ozone season next March, and again, this is good news for our community because it literally saves this community tens of millions of dollars by staying under that threshold. Holiday season obviously is here, and just a couple of reminders. We have the mayor's tree lighting ceremony this Sunday at Old Town Square. We'll have trolleys running back and forth between Old Town and Lights on the River because we have two functions that are going to be fun, that'll draw lots of people to them. My understanding is there's word that Santa's going to be here Sunday. So I think it's going to be a great time for those that have been behaving all year to get a chance. George, I think you're safe. Megan probably needs to work on that before she sees Santa. But it's going to be a great time to enjoy the festive holiday spirit. The Newman Troubadours are going to be singing at the mayor's tree lighting ceremony. We'll have our friends at B98. They're going to host us this year and MC the mayor's tree lighting, and it'd be a great time to come out, enjoy the holidays, and see the lights on the river and the new Christmas tree up in Old Town Square. And so looking forward to a number of those family-friendly events, and encourage everyone to come out and have a good time and hopefully meet Santa Claus. And with that, we'll open it up for questions. If you have any questions on any of the topics, we certainly encourage it. Thank you.
Mayor, is this on? Okay. Question for you. Not sure if you've heard the news this morning in the New York Times. It was reported that Mike Pompeo could possibly be taking Rex Tillerson's position. Just wondered if you had any comments or response to that.
Another great example of the talented people that we have coming out of Wichita, and we think that we are very fortunate to have great ties on the national level. We have got friends in the communications department at the White House, having Mercedes Schlapp involved with communications is a bonus, and having a friend like Mike Pompeo involved is, I think, an advantage for Kansans and specifically Wichita. So haven't had a chance to hear that news, but we're always encouraged by talented Wichitans that continue to sometimes exceed others' expectations. Well, thank you all again, and hope to see you all Sunday at the mayor's tree lighting. And again, thank Wendy and Eric for coming down and kicking off this really important initiative. Thank you.